Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the Phil Studio, your favorite electronic bench on the internet. Today is a great day because I have in front of me a MPK249 from Akai, and I'm going to attempt to repair this amazing, I can say, synthesizer sequencer processor. Enjoy. Yeah, look at this beauty, like how clean it is and how beautiful it is. And first thing when you're working on that kind of machine is to make space for it on your bench. You don't want any tool or scrap around or in the way. Because when you will flip the machine, like what happens if there's a tool under and you just scrap the front panel? And by the way, I highly encourage you that when you flip this kind of machine, that you have some foam, a soft anything, some cloth, clean cloth here, because when you will flip the machine, the front panel will have all the weight of the machine, and you don't want to scrap like a knob or break a fader or just puncture the LCD screen. So basically the problem with it is, I don't know if you can see, but the USB connector is completely broken, and we're gonna have a nice time repairing it, because when I tilt the machine I can hear the internal part of the USB connector just having a ride inside the machine. Fortunately, I have these USB connector here and they should do the job. So we're going to open the machine. There's a lot of screw, but I think we're gonna be lucky enough and be able to remove the bigger screws, and be able to tilt maybe just enough, like the back plate. So let's start removing these screws. Uh, just a little note: when before opening a machine like that, like it's always better to check the warranty on the product, because just by removing one of these screw, I could hear a little tick, which this mean there was some Loctite, so this machine was never opened before, which mean if I open it, I'm voiding the warranty. But in our case, the product is not under warranty anymore. All the big screws are removed, I think, and I can feel the panel lifting easily right now. Hope it's good. Always be careful with these small ribbon cable, okay? And here we can see this is the USB connector. So I'll make some space to work. And I don't want to take any chance. I'm just going to remove this ribbon connector here. And most of the time it's just clipped. Sometimes you can slide it off easily without any mechanism. In our case there were no mechanism, so we're lucky enough. Be really careful with these ribbon cable. They look cheap, but They are really expensive. So we get rid of the front plate, the front panel, and now we can work properly here. So you can see the, wow, the solder the solder were still in place, but the USB connector was just ripped apart completely, and it's exactly the same. So we're gonna be lucky enough and be able to replace it. First, I want to remove this board from the plate. I think I'm gonna have to unscrew some stuff here. Yeah, these one. Okay, only two connector and some screws here. Now we can remove safely this. Wow, that's hell of a board. It's crazy. So we're going to flip it to work on it. What you want to do is have a little safety plate under, just in case some soldering would fall from your soldering iron. I'm going to unsolder like the rest of the USB plug right away. I'm gonna get rid of that, clean the solder pad, and then install the new USB connector, and it should work like a brand new, I hope. We're gonna see. These USB connectors are pretty tricky to unsolder because they have big ground pad, so you will have to eat it a little more than usual. And before applying force, just make sure like that the pad is well desoldered. And when you heat these two little tabs here, you're eating all of the connector shield or casing. What you can do, since the connector is damaged, is just to put a load of solder on all the pin and eat them all at once, and then you apply some pressure on the connector. It should free itself. Just there. This is not my favorite technique, but when something is like really broken and you need to replace it, I'll use the left hand on this one. Okay, one tab removed. So it's nearly removed. So we will let the poor board just recover from all the heat we applied there. Just gonna let it rest and let it cool down a little bit before we clean all the pad, and then we're gonna be able to put the brand new connector. What you can use too is super wick, like the desoldering thread. It works pretty well most of the time, and the other part of the time is just shit. You gotta be careful, like, not to eat the pad for too long or you'll just damage it. So we can see it work well, and the pad is still in good shape. That's great. Great news. I think I'm gonna continue with the super wick soldering wick thread. What you can do is eat on one side and pump with the desoldering pump on the other side, but this is required to be like really careful and precise and not to eat too much. It didn't work that time, I guess, because there is still a pin in there. There's still some pin in there. Like, I'm gonna tell you, being a tech is not an easy job, though it's really nice. But still can be some time as a surgeon, but you don't save life. Finally managed to clean the 4-hole for the USB connector. It was a pain. So now it's time to clean the top of the board and under the board. I'm going to use a contact cleaner. This is some good stuff. Strong, so be careful, wear your protection glasses and make sure the machine is not plugged while doing so. Tiny amount will do the job. Check the switch while we're there. Good. This is pretty clean, and now we're going to try to fit the new connector here. I hope it fit perfectly. As long as you can see the 4-pin, you're good to go. Check your solder. Make sure there's no short. Clean the flux a little bit. Was not an easy job, but I did it clean. Pretty happy with the result. Brand new connector, better than this one, right? Completely broke. So I'm going to close back the machine and test it, and let me know if this kind of stuff happens to you, because these USB connectors are really fragile, and most of the people are just plugging them and unplugging them often because they have a non-permanent setup, so it can happen. It's an accident, but it can happen that this connector break. So see you next time, guys, for a next repair or another crash course or another crazy project. See ya.